I remember I had this mediation recently. It was a workplace mediation where there was a team of about 5 women in a government type of department, obviously won't say which one, where they had long-running issues for like 15, 16 months. So basically they had to get GPs to refer to the general public to get people in to see a dietitian. So there's a big pot of money the government had allocated. The different members of the team sort of had a different interpretation of what this meant, what their role description was. This one member of the team who, she came from like a pharmaceutical sales background, so she was all about, we need to hard sell, we need to get the referrals happening, otherwise we're all going to lose our jobs. And she sort of saw herself as the beacon of hope, the one sort of keeping the team afloat. And then you had the other 4 women who came from more allied health types of backgrounds. And they sort of saw their role as, you know, building rapport with the GPs, building the relationship, and over time, things will eventually change. So the first day they had a mediation with their boss that didn't go too well, because the boss actually is friends with a few of them from a previous job, so they're not really that independent. And then after about 16 or 18 months, they came to see me. But the problem with their headspace in the mediation was that it was very legalistic. They had in their head, this is going to the courts, or this is going to the lawyers, these IR lawyers. So they weren't able to be very, I'll talk about later, they weren't able to be very vulnerable or actually to open up and tell the other person what's actually going on. If you can actually have these difficult conversations and address to the other person where it is that you're coming from, then this is the best safeguard legally for anything that could happen. Like 9 times out of 10, when you actually do have these conversations, it actually improves the relationship. So the person who the organisation was worried about, who was the woman on her own, they were sort of trying to manage her, and she knew that she was trying to be managed. Like, people have a pretty good, call it a bullshit meter, and she was trying to be very, very difficult. Like, it's hard, I know, because you go into your organisation and you're probably thinking to yourself, I can't do that. That's not the norm in my organisation. If I did that, I'd lose my job, or people might laugh at me or call me silly. People who do this, and there are people who do this, find that people are actually very receptive.
I can be pretty emotional sometimes, and I get worked up really quickly and really easily. So I've tried to head that off with shut myself down on the emotions and just then work out, like, hey, how did I get that angry that quickly and why? And that's then helped me then approach the person and approach the situation more academically, more straightforward, more tactfully.
I think it's 2 things from my experience with workplace mediations. One is you're giving them the permission. That's probably 90% of it, because they don't give themselves permission in the workplace. I conducted off-site, I've conducted it on-site before, completely different situation. They all stay in stage 1. But yeah, the exploration, or the vulnerability and empathy, changed the stages slightly. We call it exploration and mediation. Covers probably 90% of the process. The negotiation is the easy part. If you do the exploration well, like that couple did, I guess, then the negotiation happens, yeah, maybe an hour at most, when the mediation takes 8 hours. I'm available to speak at your next conference, or to deliver a tailored workplace presentation or workshop to help employees within your organisation to have the conversation. To book me, call the number on your screen or visit my website. Thank you.